Hi, this is Mark Spoonhour of Laptop Magazine, and we're here at Best Buy in Midtown Manhattan. We're going to give you a sneak peek at some of the best laptop deals that we've seen in years. Yes, even you can benefit from a recession. We're talking about notebooks that are less than $1,000, some are less than $500, and there's at least two systems that are $379. So these are not closeout specials. These are notebooks that have the design that you're looking for, as well as the features that are going to last you for years to come. Okay, so before we get started, let's go over some of the ground rules for Best Buy's best deals on Black Friday. 3 out of the 4 notebooks we're about to show you are what's called doorbuster specials. And what that means is that you'll want to get there at 5 a.m. and Best Buy is going to be handing out tickets or vouchers and ask for the specific notebooks or other items that you're looking for, and you'll get it on a first-come, first-served basis. The other thing that we wanted to go over is the basic specs that you need when it comes to mainstream laptops. Start with a dual-core processor, whether it's AMD or Intel. Don't obsess over clock speed, but 2 gigahertz is fine if you can get it. 3 gigs of RAM, as well as a 160 gigabyte hard drive. That's plenty of room for all of your multimedia files and pictures and photos and videos, as well as all the documents that you need. There are some exceptions as you go below $400, but in general, those are good rules of thumb. So let's start with a system that you don't have to get up super early for. That's because the eMachines D620 starts at $379, and if anything, it's going to go lower. But the reason why we wanted to highlight this laptop is because it's sold out online, but you're going to find a fair number of them in stores. So what do you get for that price? You get a 14-inch display, which is really portable. We're looking at a system that's about 5 pounds or so. And we also like the ergonomics on the system, which is hugely important for something that you're going to be using even for basic tasks. This particular notebook has what's called the Smile layout, and it's very ergonomic, and we like the look and feel of it. Starting with a 1.6 gigahertz AMD single-core processor, 1 gig of RAM, which is on the low side, but it's fine for running Vista Basic in this case. It's not Vista Premium, and 160 gigabyte hard drive. And it's also thin and light, so unlike a lot of other budget laptops, this is something that you're easily going to be able to carry around. It's just a little over 5 pounds. So what do you give up at $379? There's a couple of features that people like a media card reader, and there's only 2 USB ports. But overall, this is a solid value. We actually just reviewed the system and gave it 3 out of 5 stars because for the target audience, it delivers. Also at $379 is the Toshiba Satellite L305D. It definitely has a more premium look and feel, and that's because the $379 price is for a limited time only. Usually this notebook goes for close to $600. And you can tell that it's a premium notebook because you have little touches like a glossy deck, as well as quick touch multimedia buttons above the keyboard. And we also like even the touchpad itself has a nice gritty feel while still providing a smooth experience when navigating the desktop. You have a 15-inch display that's nice and bright, as well as features that you would expect at a higher price, like a built-in webcam. On the spec side of the house, you definitely have a full-featured system, and it's a 2 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo processor. You have 3 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough for running Vista, as well as a 160 gigabyte hard drive. Overall, we definitely like the look and feel of this system, and for $379, it's one of the best deals you're going to find this holiday season. If you're willing to spend just a little bit more, you can get what is a luxury notebook for $499, and this is a system that usually goes close to $1,000, so it's definitely a bargain. It's called their DV4, and you're going to look for the 114NR in stores. And it has the same specs of the Toshiba, but you have a 14-inch display widescreen, and it's even more portable. We also like that it has a cool intersecting pattern right on the deck as well as on the lid. You get the media control buttons that are above the keyboard that are backlit, as well as high-end Altec Lansing speakers. And you have other cool features, like on the left-hand side of the system, you have an eSATA port as well as an HDMI port for outputting to a larger screen monitor. And last but not least, you even have a built-in remote control for controlling media playback, which is great for internet radio or for listening for music across the room. So for $499, you're getting a system with a 2 gigahertz processor, 3 gigs of RAM, 160 gigabyte hard drive, and a thin and light form factor that looks great, complete with a backlit logo. Really cool touch. High-definition fans are going to want to take a look at the Sony Vaio FW series, which offers features that you'll never find below $1,000. And in this case, you're saving $290 on a system that goes for $899. So what kind of features are worth $899 these days? This has a Blu-ray drive built right in. And you can use it both on this notebook and when you're outputting to a larger display. And that's because it has a built-in HDMI port. And because it has a 16:9 aspect ratio display, you won't get the dreaded black bars above and below your movie, so you can enjoy them in full screen. And even the keyboard itself will let you stand out in a crowd because it has a cool isolated keyboard layout. It's very well spaced, but also has a nice tactile feel. And the other things that we like is that you have cylindrical hinges on both sides, as well as the HDMI port, which we thought is critical for outputting movies to a big screen. On the spec front, Sony loads the system with a dual-core processor from Intel, 4 gigs of RAM, and a 250 gigabyte hard drive. So we can guarantee you won't find a better bargain. So that's a look at our top bargains at Best Buy this Black Friday season. And we definitely encourage all of you to go online to laptopmag.com to check out the full specs and the rundown of all 4 of these systems, as well as get full reviews of all the best notebooks that you can get this holiday. This is Mark Spoonhour, Laptop Magazine.